Hey everyone, it's Jill and Snickers, and today we're continuing on our Programming 101 series and talking about curricular needs in your programming. As teachers, every year we have a certain number of standards that we need to cover, and many of those are covered in our method books, and we have flexibility in when and kind of how we teach those. But it's always good practice to reinforce those standards through the literature that we select. Here are a few things that I like to keep in mind when we are talking about curriculum in our programming. Our location and the student population that we work with can have a big impact on what students hear regularly just going about their daily lives. So with that in mind, I like to keep a wide variety of cultural musical heritage in the music that I program so that I can make sure that they're regularly exposed to something different than what they normally hear. Next up is form. We're talking about march form, ABA form, etc. This is something that method books often don't teach very thoroughly, but we want to keep a variety of forms and teach them explicitly, again, because many method books, the A2s are short and they don't teach those longer forms. Next up is connections. As you're aware, music intertwines with many other areas of study, including but not limited to art, literature, history, social studies. And in order for students to fully grasp the depth and breadth of music that they play, we want to help make those connections, whether it's through full cross-curricular units or just a little extra context study on the side for enrichment is up to you. And finally, going back to basic building blocks, let's talk about key signatures and time signatures. Now, these are fully taught by method books and through our scale studies and our rhythm studies, and all those things are great. But for best practices and for the most thorough studies, we want to make sure we're applying those in the literature that we are selecting so that students get that real world experience. If they can play their concert A flat scale, great. But what does that mean if they never have to? Keeping all those curricular needs in mind will help ensure that you are programming music that is not only challenging, but also inspiring for students and helping them become the well-rounded musicians that we want them to be. That's it for this week. Join us next week when we're going to talk about preparation time. Catch you next time.